Good morning and welcome back. Thank you very much for joining me today. We are out and about this morning where I've got Mum with me and we are heading to the garden centre. We're still kind of in the middle of winter, but because I'm in a subtropical gardening zone, we do tend to get a fair amount of plants and flowers at this time of year as well, and it's always a really good time for us to start planting, to get the plants in and get their root systems established before the really hot weather starts. So that is the plan of action for this morning. And then honestly, I'm not really sure what else we'll be doing today, but it should just be another really lovely day. But I'm excited to go and have a little potter around at the garden centre. So we have arrived at the garden centre and we are looking for garden edging. Like this, almost. At the front patio, that project there, I've actually cleared and created another garden bed. And so it's on a bit of a slope and I need some garden edging just to be able to hold like the dirt and any mulch or compost I put down in so it doesn't like go down the slope. So garden edging. So this is all garden edging. That's it. And you just dig that down between the rock and the dirt, you know, like to measure it. I mean, you just get a thing of it. That's 10 meters. It's not bigger than 10 meters.
I wouldn't think so.
No.
You just get a roll. Is
Yeah.
it soft?
Well, it's obviously bendable. They've got it curled up. So we've got a heap of plants today for the patio project. So we'll definitely be getting into that. I've just left Mum in one of the aisles and I'm just coming up to have a look in there. Sort of, they normally have a little area of fruit trees and berries and bits and pieces. So I'm going to have a little look through there. Here, I'm wondering maybe they don't have it. Maybe that's something I need to get online. How beautiful are these marigolds? Oh, they're like big pom-poms. Oh wow. Okay. So everything is pretty much in and I'm hopeful that we have picked up enough stuff to fill the garden bed off of the front patio for that project. Oh, I'm so excited to be getting back into that and sort of starting it again. Anywho, all loaded up, ready to head home now. I think we might do maybe one or two other little stops and then we will be home, and then maybe we start trying to place some of these plants and getting them in. All right. Well, it is the next day. I'm home. Everything kind of got packed up yesterday and we are out on the front patio, which I know is really not an area you see that often. We've got little Pip there, and I've got Mum here, who you'll see in a moment in her new outfit. If you've been subscribed and you watched, was it last week's video? we went to the garden festival, and I'm gonna pan up a little bit. There's Mum in her new outfit. Aren't these the cutest things ever? The brand is Lickety Split, and they're like a 100% cotton gardening overall. So Mum got the green, like the sage green, and I got the blue colour, which is really pretty. And Mum also got the matching hat. But isn't that so cute? Anywho, I'm out here because we are going to be working on the front patio project today. I've been saying it for, gosh, I think months, that I'm really keen to get back started on this, and I have to say I am getting concerned. I want this pretty much all done before the warmer weather comes. And we've kind of got current state, so I just thought I would very quickly show you current state, and then I'm going to go and get all the plants, and then we're going to get stuck into this and start planting. So I don't know if you're going to remember, but this area here, this whole garden bed, used to be filled with like quite a thick leafed native grass, and it has now all been cleared. It got cleared quite a while ago, as you can no doubt tell from all the weeds. But this is basically what I purchased the majority of the plants for yesterday, was to kind of fill out this garden bed. And I have to say, it is actually a bit bigger than what I thought it was, particularly along here. I didn't think it was as wide as that, but that is not a problem at all. So we've kind of got this gorgeous sort of tapered bed there. What Mum is trying to do is, we're wanting to put some edging in. So I don't know if it comes across on camera, but this is quite like high, and then it slopes down. And if we're wanting to put like top dress it with some nice soil or mulch, just kind of worried that it's going to go over down into the next level, down sort of down here. So yesterday in the garden centre, we purchased this, which is just like a garden edging. And so what I'm kind of thinking is that we'll kind of bury it, if we can, up to about this, and then this bit will stay above the ground, and it will sort of hold the dirt and any mulch or anything in place. Oh, there we go. Hold on. This is what it was here. So that is the plan of action. It's no doubt been a while since you've seen this space. Not too much has changed. I think there's maybe a few extra little pots. We actually planted up this jasmine together, gosh, last year at some point, I believe. And it's just, I love the idea of it, but it's just not worked the way. So there's one here, and then there's another one over here. So it's just really not worked the way I've wanted it to. It's really gone big at the top. It's quite sparse down the bottom, and I don't know if it comes across, but it's struggled. It's a really hot space here. It gets pretty much like full blistering sun, and this is obviously like a concrete. So I think it's just struggling. I think it's not been loving this like spot at all. There are a couple of other pots like this around the other side near the sun deck that are having the same kind of issue. So I think that these will get replaced with something else. I was looking for, at the garden centre yesterday, I spent a little bit of time looking at arborvitae, and I thought that maybe that could go nice here, and it'd be like a nice sort of pencil kind of conifer, and that would sort of break up the wall, like the rendering on the wall with some pretty greenery. But there wasn't anything that I thought would be suitable. So that is still on the docket and still something we need to do. There's a lot out here. The flooring is something that we want to tackle. I want teak furniture out here. But for the most part, it is looking really nice. A little Pippa. It's just, yeah, needs a little bit of care. I want a new, I'm just seeing under the umbrella here, I want a new umbrella. And I mean, this garden bed here is looking really full and lovely. What else has happened out here? We planted some hydrangeas. So there's a hydrangea here. This is an oriental lace cap. And then just a little bit further down, we've got another really large hydrangea there. Both of them are actually starting to just come into bloom now. So hopefully this one will kind of get big and fill out that space. Anywho, I'm going to get stuck in. I'm going to start bringing out all of the plants, and then I'll kind of go through the plants and show you that once I've got them all here. Alrighty, So, all the plants have come around. Now, we may not need all these plants for in here. We'll just kind of wait and see. But I thought I'd very quickly show you what I have. If we don't need them in here, then I will find homes for them somewhere else. These are the ones that we purchased at the garden festival. So I've got a number of those in different colors. And then this one's like more of the pink. And then this one here, if you can see, has got the gorgeous orange centers. Purchased some of these Mighty Bloom. Now, we got a couple of those. I think 3 for in here and 2 were for somewhere else. You saw yesterday I got the Sensations Pink and the Sensations Purple Lavender. I also picked up a bunch of these. Now I have to say I do regret not buying more of these. These would have done really well, I think, in the orchard. And I got the yellow, the pink, and then this color here. These also I regret not buying more of. They're just a really good low lying sort of plant. Like these only get 15 centimeters. That's a really good filler. I got them in the gorgeous little purple with the yellow centers. I got these ones. They're a dwarf delphinium, and the blooms on them are so pretty. I got 3 of those as well. Look at those. Isn't that like, and they come up. Look at this. That is so whimsical. And again, I regret not buying more of these. They could have definitely gone in the orchard. I need to get some filler plants. I'm debating whether we need to pop back to the garden centre. Oh, they're gorgeous. What else did I get? We did get some of the organic soil improver just to go into this bed here because it's not really been planted up. And then I think the last thing I purchased, which I'm actually really excited about, this is a double lavender. Lavish musk. Look at that. That's gorgeous. I'm thinking for this pot here, because this little fella is not doing well. So he might go, we might just plant him in the bed somewhere and get that lavender into that pot. These 2 really big lavender, I'm just not sure. I don't know if they will go in here. Mum and I have been debating about whether to put them in these here instead of, this is, just in case you're wondering, this is a solar panel and goes to this. So that's what that is. Debating about putting the lavender in here because it's so hardy that it might do well in such a hot spot. But obviously it won't get super tall, and lavender does tend to flop a bit, which I don't love in a pot setting. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I really did want something tall here, like sort of slim and tall and green to kind of break the concrete sort of feel. I mean, eventually this whole patio, I'm hoping to get it resurfaced with maybe like a bit more of like a rock coat. And then I want to put in like some statues, possibly some pillars, get some really gorgeous things on here. A few months back, I think we were at the landscape supply store and I saw these big slate tiles, and I thought about layering those up as well and having like a corner here of like a really big slate tile up. I thought that would look really nice and add some sort of texture and depth. So these are all things that will be coming. As I said earlier, I want new furniture out here. I desperately need a new umbrella. The umbrella I've got now is broken. These plants are by themselves and they're looking very scraggly. I've had them out the back near the potting shed for probably 4 months, which is why they're looking a little bit scraggly, because obviously I was away, I went on holidays and all those sorts of things. So they've definitely survived. They're just looking a little bit worse for wear. So I am really keen they are for in here. So I'm keen to get them in as well. These are one of the butterfly bushes. This one gets a meter, 1 to 1.2 meters. and just another one of these Gara. I think that's the pink, and I've got a white one over the other way. So they just need a bit of a spruce up, and then they can be added into here as well. And then hopefully this will be really full. You all know I have a very much like a cottage style garden, so I like everything to be really full. I don't want to see any of this dirt in the next couple of months. I want it to be completely filled with plants and that. And I think it will just add a really sort of beautiful focal point for when you are sitting on this patio on these seats. This is like quite an early morning sun trap, so sitting out here while you're having breakfast is really lovely. The birds come here for the water fountain. It's a really pretty spot. There's Mum back. All right, I am going to maybe put you up somewhere, and we're just going to get stuck into this. I'm keen to get as much of this done as I can today. Progress update. So you would have seen I planted the double lavender in this pot here because that other one was struggling. Pippa, calm down. Mum's just walked out the door. She hates when people leave. And then, oops, sorry. Oh, it's quite shaded now, isn't it? We just started kind of clearing the bed a little bit. You can kind of see, and then the edging has also gone in. If you can kind of, there we go. Oops, if I get my, there we go. Sorry, my hand makes it. You can kind of see the edging just there on that rock wall. So yeah, I'm gonna get in and pick up all of the weeds and such, and then maybe we can start planting. Okay, I've put the little soil improver on the top. Let me tell you, that was not, I mean, maybe it's really good stuff, but it was like solid. It was almost like a sheet of soil that was like stuck together. I appreciate that it's worm casings and compost and manure and all that kind of together, but made it very, I was sort of hoping it would be more of like a sprinkle situation, but it was not. So basically, now is almost the fun bit, where we go through and place all the plants. I like to place them all first just in their pots in the various locations, just so you get a good idea of where you think you're going to put things, because you might end up moving things around as you place things, as you see what you have left. So I find that the best thing to do first. So I'm going to go through our pile of plants. As I said to you earlier, I don't think all of these will end up in this bed, but these are my options basically. So I'm going to go through, place all of those, and then we'll sort of see what it looks like. Alrighty. Woo! It's killed both of us. Gosh. But this is how it is looking. Oh, it's looking so pretty. Particularly compared to what it was before. It was basically just wild grass, which does not go with my cottage garden vibe. So I know it probably doesn't look like too much now with all the red dirt. This is like a clay red dirt. But give it a little bit of time and the plants will hopefully settle all in. They'll get to space out, they'll grow, and they'll fill in all these gaps. And I think it is going to look beautiful. The osteopernum they're obviously flowering at the moment, but they look beautiful and just add a really nice bright pop. The Gara, I've got one there, that's the taller one. It gets about 1.2 meters, I think. And then I've got a little sort of short one there with a little pink flower on it. So these get about a meter, 1.2, and then a meter and a meter. This is a big pink butterfly bush. Gets about 1.5 to 2 meters. Again, doesn't look like much now because it's been struggling, but hopefully it will bounce back and look gorgeous. These little ones here, the Astrio Mira, I think it is, something like that, the Astrio Mira, they are looking just nice, like bright pops of green, which I think is gorgeous. I've got 3 of those there. They do flower, but obviously more into spring. We are still in winter, but these I think are the showstopper. These are the dwarf delphinium, and these pretty little white flowers, the breeze. I managed to squeeze 2 of these in. Like, look at all the flowers on this one, look at all the buds. I managed 2 in the gaps. So I've got 1 left. I'm regretting that I didn't get more of these because I think that they're going to be beautiful, and they're pre-annual as well, which is nice. And this foliage, like the fern-like foliage, is really pretty. And then the nice flowers on the stalks, I think gives it quite sort of the whimsical cottagecore vibe. I wonder if they'd do a really good cut flower. Imagine like if you had heaps of these, cutting these off and putting them in a bouquet. That could look really pretty and dainty. But that is where we got to today. We're both pretty much absolutely done. Digging the holes in here was a workout. The soil is really dense and there are a lot of quite thick branches through here, so we had to get like the big cutters out to try and cut through branches, and just trying to dig those holes was a mission. But really, really pleased with how this is looking. I'm just over the moon with how much we got done today. I'll come back out a little bit later and give it a good drink of water. What's still probably to come is possibly running the irrigation through here. It's got no irrigation at the moment, so this area here, you can actually see an irrigation pipe here. This all has irrigation throughout, so it wouldn't be too much to just do like a runner and maybe even just put 2, like 1 here and then 1 on the other side, just to kind of get some water going here without having to hand water all the time. So irrigation no doubt to come, and then I think I've got no soil left at all. The place where I normally get the soil was closed yesterday by the time we finished at the other garden centre. So I was unable to get any more. But then I'm going to give it a really good top dress throughout, just for nutrients, but also I just think it makes it look really nice and fresh. And then potentially a bit of mulch might help as well, just to kind of help retain the moisture in this bed. This is, as far as I know, this has never been a garden bed before, but I think it is going to look beautiful. I have a whole vision for this front patio area, and it is very slowly coming together. But this first step, I'm over the moon about. I think it's looking really good. And then we do have some plants left over. I thought we would have these left over. I didn't think we'd have the room. These are the 2 lavender. They smell so good. And then I've got 2 more of these Mighty Bloom, the 1 meter ones that I've got 3 in there at the moment. So I've got 2 more of those. I didn't use any of these so they will no doubt go elsewhere in the garden. I definitely need some stuff in the orchard. I just really want to finish off the orchard as well before summer comes, so I think they'll look nice. And I didn't end up using any of these, which is brilliant because I do want them for the orchard with those pretty little purple and yellow flowers. I've got some salvia that we picked up at the garden festival that I've earmarked for the orchard. And then, as I said, I've got one more of these beautiful, I wish I'd picked up more of those. Oh, and it's always the way. They'll have sold out and that will be it, and there'll be no more, which is unfortunate. But anyway, and this little fella, I can't forget this. The little lavender here. Hopefully that's going to be happy and just a little bit happier. It's quite a dry spot, so I'm hopeful that it might not struggle as much as the other plant. Anywho, Mum has already started the cleanup, so I'm going to start to take all these plants back. As I said, I'm done for today. I'm not doing any more gardening. Pip needs a bath, so that's probably going to be the next port of call. But I might pop all of these into saucers with water. I've done that with you a million times. And then later on, come out and give this a really good water. Anywho, I'm going to sign off for today. I hope you have kind of enjoyed seeing this little area start its transformation and kind of just recommencing this. I know we did start it towards the end of last year, but I am set on finishing this whole patio project before summer comes, and kind of giving all the plants and everything some time to settle in before the intense heat. Anywho, I'm going to see you next Wednesday. Thank you so much as always for joining me. Bye.